How would you like to meet some of the people around your neighborhood today?
Hi guys, Chuck here once again for thecheapbastard.net, and today we're going to take you to the local pawn shop, show you how to do the deal, how to make the exchange, how to be best prepared. Because the pawn shop is sort of like the poor man's bank where you can get a short-term loan for a marginal interest. We're going to show you how to get the deal done and set your head in the right place to make the transaction happen. Come on with us, thecheapbastard.net. Okay, Joe, what advice would you have to somebody who for the first time has brought in something of value, an heirloom, a gold coin, a watch, or something that they are interested in pawning?
The people got a misconception of pawn shops, okay? We're places of last resort, all right? You need a loan on money, that's fine, that's what we're here for. But you're not going to come to a pawn shop and expect to get rich on anything you bring into not only my shop, any shop. But the difference between my place and other places, I'm up front with it. All right. This is a place for a guy to come to get a deal. All right. You don't get deals coming in and selling to my place. It's not going to happen whether it's my place or any other pawn shop. And I guarantee you, I will give you probably 10 to 15% higher on anything I take than any other pawn shop out there. But I have a market for items, and so I'm not afraid to give a little more. I try to be fair with people.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Joe. Joe, let's say I have a camera that has a retail value of $500. I've fallen on hard times. I want to sell. I want to go to the pawn shop to sell my retail value $500 camera. What are my realistic expectations when I come to the pawn shop?
In reality?
In reality.
Probably between $50 and $80. When you pawn something, it's a 30-day loan. So you're going to pawn a piece of property, and it's not my property, it's your property. In 30 days, it's my property, okay? But the difference is a pawn is a loan. When you come in and sell, it's a sale, so that it could go on a shelf immediately. A pawn, I hold it for 30 days. It's your property, and after 30 days, I could keep it if I want. Normally, I let people extend, and I'll charge late fees. But legally, by law, it's mine in 30 days, and everybody knows that going into a pawn shop. So you're going to save probably anywhere between, I would say, 50% and higher, depending on products, because a lot of my stuff too is new in here that ain't pawns. I have a lot of new merchandise also. You come into my shop, it's not like a pawn shop. You think it's a retail store, and my customers really believe that. Even when I worked, I'm not wearing my chain now, but I had a gold chain, and the purpose of that was if I'm getting a job, I'm out in New York somewhere, and now everybody holds back a week when you're working. So that week really turns into 10 days, right? So if you get a job on a Monday, you go to work all week, and now following the next week, you need to come to get a check. You need to hold yourself through till the following Thursday, right? So I would have a chain I would bring to the local pawn shop in the area, wherever it was. And I would pawn it for probably about $80. And come payday, I would get it out. But that's what the purpose of me having that chain was for. And I've done it numerous times. And pawn shops ain't in the business of switching a ring or a piece of jewelry. When it ain't about that. They make their money on their loans and on the interest. So there's no pawn shops out to, they switch this or that. It's not going to happen. People might have a misconception and think that, or they'll think that all pawn shops are fences for stolen property, and they only deal with crackheads and drug addicts, which is not the case, So, but that's I'm speaking of my business, And when I first started, I had clientele like that. I set up some cameras. You could swing it over to my TV, okay, and that eliminates that type of clientele. And I don't want that clientele in my business, not now or ever. I don't need that clientele.
Well, obviously in the front here, towards the showcases, you'll find some of the normal stuff that you see in a pawn shop. Electronics. You got the typical, GPS units, XM radios. We'll have laptops and stuff like that. And then obviously video games, which is a big industry now. You'll see a lot of video game stuff. Another big thing in a pawn shop, and especially at JoJo's, is you'll find tools. JoJo's got a lot of tools, different kinds of tools for everybody, for every need. And you can find sometimes jewelry, toys. He's got race cars, he's got watches and stuff. And you can find jukebox machines, and that's pretty much your typical items in a pawn shop.
Over here we got stamps. We got blue stamps, red stamps. A red stamp means you don't come back, you're losing items all the time. If you're a guy, I got people that work for a living, they're not drug addicts, they're not, undesirables. They're working people who have, things in life. You get paid today, your car breaks down, you go to Brian Lawrence and it costs you $400 to change your brakes. There's your whole week's pay. You still got to eat. So you come in, you bring your TV, your VCR, or DVD, and you pawn it. And this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
This is what a pawn shop is all about. Okay.
Yeah.
It ain't about buying everybody's property all the time, and it happens. When a blue stamp means that's a customer that came in, got his pawn, and took it.
Yeah.
So he gets stamped, paid in blue.
Yeah.
When I repo an item, it's in red.
Yeah.
And it says repo.
Yeah.
So when you come in and you fall on hard times and you come in and I give you $40 for your little XM radio thing or whatever, or I give you $50 for your fucking what do you call them things there?
Cell phone?
No, the
What? The calculator?
no.
What?
That little fucking thing you play music with and shit and you talk like communicate.
AM, FM radio?
Fuck you.
Walkie-talkie. Walkie-talkie.
iPod or some shit. Anyway, I'll give him say I give him $40 all the time for that, and it's blue, and the guy comes in and says, listen, I need 60 for that this time.
Yeah.
60's pushing it because I'd probably retail the thing for
Right.
60. Okay. And I look at the guy's sheet and I see it's blue. The guy's like a clock.
Yeah.
He comes back all the time.
Yeah.
So then I make exceptions and I'll give somebody a few dollars
Yeah.
more. But on the other hand, if you're all red stamps, I know when you bring something in, you never fucking pick it up. So now you got something that's worth $80 at best.
Yeah.
I can only retail it for maybe 50 if I, and that's high. But you're never gonna get that $60 that you need because I know you're not coming back. Your track record is telling me you're not coming back. So but that evolved with me over the course of time that I learned, and I'm learning every day, with stuff. That's
what sort of things won't you touch? What are you not even interested in?
Really?
Really?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't take golf clubs. I know nothing because I would have golf clubs from floor to ceiling if I did.
Skis?
I'm not going to take that here.
I don't see any television sets here.
Because they go out as quick as they go on a shelf.
Radios? Not so much.
I'll take some radios, but the radios, they're like, they're obsolete now because you got these MP3s
Right.
with these little home stations.
Laptops? I don't see any
Dude, what do you mean you don't see laptops? Is this guy blind or what?
Laptops.
Obviously, Chuck ain't looking at the showcase when he walks in. No, we got laptops.
Okay.
We got laptops.
Musical instruments?
That I ain't gonna touch.
Okay.
I got one there. I know nothing about it, so I'm not interested.
And the majority of the average population might never step in a pawn shop.
Yeah.
The only exposure they've ever had to a pawn shop is a TV show that's running right now on one of the cable networks. Okay?
That's fucking Fantasy Island, man.
Why?
Dude, the guy who owns the pawn shop is not gonna... Somebody's gonna bring in a St. Guardian... it's a $20 gold piece.
Yeah.
Right now, gold's going for, I don't know, I'm gonna just throw off the top of my head, 14,
Yeah.
30,
Yeah.
give or take, okay? So it's basically it's $1,400
Yeah.
that coin.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the guy is going to come in with a coin, and what happens with the coin? Just the weight of the spot is
Yeah.
worth
Yeah.
what the going rate of
market
fucking
value.
gold is
Yeah.
worth. Okay.
Let it rip.
Now, this guy on Pawn Stars is going to say, well, you know, the gold is worth this, so the coin is worth 1,500. But I'm going to have my expert come take a look at it because I don't want to rip you off.
Yeah.
You know, and he makes a phone call. He has an expert for everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even hemorrhoids. I've seen the show. But anyway, make a long story longer.
Yeah.
His guy comes and he tells him that this gold piece is worth 12 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the guy says, well, it's worth 12,000. I'm going to give you 8,000 for it, which is total bullshit. Okay. Because I know for a fact when the cameras ain't rolling in that store, because I know somebody personally who went there.
Okay.
And went with a ring and paid 7 grand for the ring.
Yeah.
Just bought it that trip to Vegas, and driving by said, "Oh, there's the Pawn Stars. Let's go see what they're gonna give me for the ring." And the guy offered him $250. So, and these guys are in there. Chung Lee, the fucking father, and the other asshole. They're all in there. But when the cameras ain't rolling, man, they're a real pawn shop.
Yeah.
You know, and I want one of your people because.
Yeah.
You know, Cheap Bastards is getting very popular. But I'm sure one of your fucking viewers are going to go into Vegas one of these days. And I want them to make it a point to go there and see that I'm talking, you know, straight and not bullshit.
What about that whole thing where he makes an offer, he scratches his chin, and he says to the guy, I'll give you 500 for it. And the guy says, I was hoping to get 7. And he says, no, I'll give you 550. Is that sort of thing really happening?
Yeah, that happens. But I want to stress that this guy ain't he makes it sound like he's giving 80% of the value of a piece of property. That ain't happening. It's like fucking 10% the value of property. That's what it's really all about. So this guy, when the camera's rolling, there's another one. It's called Raw Pawn or some shit. That's the real deal, man.
All right.
That's the real deal. It's in
Raw Pawn.
It's in fucking Chicago or somewhere real rough. It's a rough neighborhood. That's the real deal, man. That's a real pawn shop. Come to JoJo's, man. Let's do some business together. You won't be sorry. And if you want some fireworks, the biggest selection on the South Shore, I'm told. And if you know, he would maybe get the camera off my freaking showcase there and move it around, you'll see what I'm talking about.
The CheapBastard.net right here.
And here's the cheap bastard himself right here, Chuck.
Red Sox Nation.
Yeah, right here. Yankees, baby.